There is one more game this weekend for Super Wild Card Weekend, and it is my Houston Texans traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Before we get into the game, if y'all have not already, make sure you are liked and subscribed to us here on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. James, I have a lot of thoughts on this game. I'm very stressed. I want this win very, very, very badly. But I'll turn it over to you. What are your thoughts as an objective third-party outsider for the Texans versus Steelers?
I'm not gonna lie to you, Spence, man. It seems like every game has been a coin flip so far in the playoffs, except the Patriots Chargers game. But besides that, Spence, I'm worried because in my head, I'm thinking, hey man, the Texans got this. They're the most dominant defense. I think they have the better weapons on offense. But then it's like, well, everything trend-wise, us betting-wise, says we should bet the Steelers. And what scares me, Spence, Steelers are the underdog, and guess what? The underdogs they're 4-1 so far. And now I'm like, oh man, should I be betting the Steelers or should I be betting the Texans? Of course, like I mentioned, trends go both ways. I don't think the Steelers defense is good, but somehow for some odd reason, we might just see the Texans playoff road misery like we've seen your whole life.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. It's very tricky. On one hand, the Texans are the hottest team in the NFL, period.
Yeah.
They have not lost in a very long time. And this is a matchup on paper that makes a lot of sense. Aaron Rodgers is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league this year when under pressure. Texans have the most elite pass rush in the entire NFL. But on the other side, you've got Mike Tomlin, undefeated on Monday Night Football. You've got the Texans never won a road playoff game in the franchise's history. Oh, I'm stressed about it. But here's what I'll say. There's a couple things I'm going to be looking out for. One, I want to see what this Texans offense is going to do against a Pittsburgh Steelers defense that has some pieces to it, but I don't think is world beaters by any means. I think Jalen Ramsey, his best football is behind him. I don't think he's someone that really intimidates me. In fact, I've seen a lot of coverage this year from Jalen Ramsey. He's blowing coverages, missing assignments. The pass rush is TJ Watt, obviously one of the best in the league, but he hasn't really been that same guy, it feels like, this year, right? And on the other side of the ball, Texans offensive line, though it has its weaknesses and though it's very suspect at times, if right tackle Trent Brown is healthy, and it's slated to be that he is going to play on Monday night, this is a different unit with him healthy and him in the lineup. It is not a bad offensive line. It is a mediocre offensive line. So that's really all the Texans need to get the win. I'll say this. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I think we had a bunch of awesome wild card games.
We did.
And then the Sunday night game was a stinker, and I think Monday Night Football is also going to be a bit of a stinker. It was the lowest over-under on the week, and I think it's going to be nasty, but I think the Texans, I think they're going to squeak it out. I think they're going to pull it out. I think it's going to be some ugly, I think 19-17 is in play. Really, like Kaimi Fairbairn, robbed of an all-pro, in my opinion. He's going to come out there and kick his little tail off. I think the Steelers will have more success than people think and expect because Aaron Rodgers, though he is old, he does still have a cannon for an arm. He's not running the same as he used to, but that arm talent is still there. DK Metcalf coming back from suspension, and that's really it that the Steelers have. I think the Texans defense should be able to shut that offense down.
I'm with you. You know me, I got to throw the 6-point teaser in this. I got to feel good about this. I'm going to go to whatever sports book in New Orleans, and I'm going to get Steelers plus 9.5 with the under at 45.5. That's going to be my pick for this game because like you mentioned, 19-17, at least for me, it gets me the 24-21 walk home victory, whoever, Steelers, Texans, I don't care who. So that's where I'm going to lean. But I will say this, a play that we probably need to recognize is the Texans first half spread. I don't know about if you knew this, but D'Amico, 36-19 first half against the spread. Of course, I do believe the Texans will be the more explosive team. It reminds me of, remember that game, the last game of the season against the Colts, where y'all just said, screw it, we're throwing 75-yard bombs with Nico Collins. Just start off the game throwing a bomb to Nico Collins. Why not? Because you don't want, even though we make fun of the new stadium, and we don't want the terrible towels getting rah-rahed up there. I'm with you. I don't think Jalen Ramsey is that type of corner anymore. Is he a suitable guy? Yeah, for sure. And of course, you still have TJ Watt on the other end, even though it may not have been the best year for the Steelers defense. But I will probably go Texans first half against the spread, but for sure, give me my 6-point teaser with Steelers 9.5 and under 45.5.
One other person on defense for the Steelers I want to take note of real quick is Joey Porter Jr. I saw a stat that he hasn't allowed a touchdown all year long. However, I vividly remember him getting absolutely bodied by T. Higgins on Thursday Night Football. So I am someone that thinks Nico Collins, similar archetype of wide receiver as T. Higgins. I think that's a matchup that I like a lot. And I'll say this too. For the Texans, if they get this win, they do something they've never done in franchise history. They then go on the road to New England. And I'm not going to lie, after what I saw from the Patriots tonight against the Chargers, I think that's a very beatable team. All year long, they were the benefactors of a very easy schedule. I think the Texans, they take care of business. They go beat Pittsburgh. I think they can go on the road and then take care of the Patriots. And then you're looking at either going to Denver or potentially the first ever AFC Championship appearance for the Texans, and they're hosting it in NRG versus Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Everything for the Texans is right there for the taking. DeMeco Ryans has already done something that no other coach has ever done in franchise history, and that's go to the playoffs 3 straight years. Let's do another tally mark on that list. Let's win a road playoff game and do all of this on the road to go to the first AFC Championship in franchise history. As a Texans fan, that is all I need this year to call this season a smashing success. I'm not going to have the loser mentality of like, I'm happy with that. I won a Super Bowl, obviously. That's what the point is.
That's the point.
The season will be a success. I will mark it down as a success if they just get to the AFC Championship for the first time in franchise history. It's all there for the taking.
I would say it's a success too. You started the season 0-3. You probably thought, damn, are we going to make the playoffs? And then, like you said, you're the hottest team in the league. You got the hottest defense in the league. All you need is just an uptick in the offense. And guess what? Like you mentioned, if cards fall your way, I will say, yeah, the Patriots game, man, they had so many opportunities to blow out the Chargers. But if they're going to play a team experience, just kind of like the Texans, more experience, and in my opinion, more valued in more success, because you know me, who the is going to trust Justin Herbert at all people in this league? I told you this wasn't going to happen. But to put things back to the Texans and all, like I said, this defense, as someone who just watched the Eagles lose, who had top 5 defense and could have led them to the Super Bowl, Texans, please don't waste this opportunity, man. You have a great defense, two-headed monster, and Daniil Hunter and freaking Will Anderson Jr. You got Stingley. You got all the guys I know. Please don't waste this opportunity in Acrisure Stadium, whatever that name is. And please,
Hines. It's always Hines.
Oh, it's always Hines. Like I said, I don't care what the trends are. You know, freaking Texans ain't won a road playoff game. Super Bowl quarterback, winning quarterbacks that are underdogs are like 64-25 against the spread. I don't care about none of that. Just find a way, Texans, to, like you said, let's beat the Steelers. Let's get on to the next round, beat the Patriots, and then, hey, like you said, host.
Potentially. And I'll say this too. There are some Steelers fans out there that, if they're being really honest with themselves, they don't want to win this game because they want Mike Tomlin fired. So Texans, let's do those Steelers fans a favor and let's just take care of business. But y'all let us know in the comments who you got tonight on Monday Night Football, the final wild card game of the weekend, Texans or Steelers.